towns, as well as 120 settlements. There are 3 national parks, namely the Edo Elephant National Park, the Tetsikama National Park, and the Kamdabua National Park. When we go to the next slide, the next slide is just speaking to our migration pattern. On the migration pattern, you will see that there is some red dots, and as well there is some red lines. When the red lines is actually combining the migration pattern, so when you look at this and you take, for instance, places like Jeffreys Bay and Newmansdorp, in some of these places you hear that they are talking foreign languages. It's due to the migration that actually came along with all these years that we actually transpired. Also within Sarah Baartman District Municipality, due to the migration that you can see on the migration pattern that is there, that people move, say for instance for better employment, for better schools, as well for better livelihoods, to see where they can actually improve their livelihoods. Can we go to the next slide that is actually speaking to strategic direction? During the inaugural council meeting, which took place in November 2021, Sarah Baartman had the first time a coalition government. The total number of councillors is 30, inclusive of the mayoral committee members, of which the ANC is 14 councillors, 9 females. The DA is 12 councillors, which is 2 females. The EFF 3 councillors, which make 1 female, and the Freedom Front Plus 1, and no female is represented there. The number of mayoral committee members decreased from 5 to 4. The female councillors in the district is 12 out of the 30 councillors that is representing council. On our strategic direction, the current staff composition is 92. That includes all the interns that is also employed within the Sarah Baartman District Municipality, of which 55 females and 37 males. For the first time in the history of Sarah Baartman District Municipality, we have employed a municipal manager, a female municipal manager. Watiti Bogodo. We have 3 directors, which is the finance and corporate is a female. Our infrastructure is a female, and our planning and economic development, he is on the moment is here acting. Our line managers, we have 11, and 3 are female of them. On our district machinery, our structures were established, however, they are currently not all functional. The only structure that is functional is the Women's Caucus, as well as the district, as well as in the local municipalities. And we are planning on this, that it needs to be tabled to council so that we can start restructuring this as well. The budget is available, and it have been actually approved, so it means that we need to look into this when it comes to enhancing. We are working with all 3 departments. On the next slide, on the women's empowerment policy, our policy was in place, but it requires to be reviewed as a matter of urgency. Relating to the new council that was only inaugurated in November in 2021, the council did not yet get a chance to look at the policy, but this needs to be done as a matter of urgency, that this policy gets reviewed as soon as possible. On our budgeting, Baartman District Municipality budget yearly for women empowerment, and above each directorate contributes towards COCUS programs on economic development. Since 2019, to date, over 40 SMMEs who are supported through creative industry support, business rejuvenation, as well as capacity building. Sorry for that. On gender-based violence, we had a motion recently where we actually adopted a motion in council where it comes to gender-based violence, and it was approved in the council meeting, and this will be pledged to be tabled in the October council meeting. As well as this pledge, we have undertaken that this must be signed by all males as well as female councillors within the council. With that, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Council, member of the MMC. Baie dankie. They did well in terms of time. So I just want to ask our first man, our guy, the talker, just to come and summarize the speeches of the financial and the two councillors, if you are ready. Will you be able to do? Okay, just a summary of all three speeches there. Thank you very much. Baie dankie.
Okay, ayindavakala ke ngoku. Umhlali ngaphambili kuthi ke manishwankathele ke zombini ke ezithethi ezisanda uba lapha phambi kwenu. Udade lo wabethetha kuqala ke naku bemana unyamala lapha lomboniso. Uthe usisi ephondweni babeke ilizwe elibukhali ke kwindlela urhulumente aqhuba ngalo ke ukuzama ukuphuhlisa imicimbi echaphazela abantu abangomama. Baya bathi ke bona babeka iliso ke kwinto ba zonke into ezenziwa ke upremier ke uMabuyana zinhle kakhulu, kodwa ke bamana uveza ke apha kwikomiti into ba komiti ewe zinhle izinto ezenziwa ngupremier, kodwa ke sithi thina makungathi kunyuswa ke umvuzo, makube ngathi kunyuswa ke isixa semali eyawuthi ingeniswe kwinkqubo ngazo zonke, kuzo zonke ezo nkqubo zisetyenziselwa ke ukuphuhlisa ke ingakumbi iinkqubo ezichaphazela amabhinqa. Besithi ke bayaziphakamisa izinto ke bawabizile amanani niwavile nani. Mamelani ke bethuna, utshilo usisi into ba ke kwakhona bayicelile ke i-Eastern Cape government into ba mayincede torhwana zonke i-programs ezikhoyo ke kwizikolo ezinabantwana abachaphazelekayo, umzekelo ungakwazi ukusebenzisa amalungu omzimba, ungaphili kakuhle engqondweni, nabazali babo bangaphangeliyo abangenanto zingize ubangenisela, makancede upremier ke norhulumente babaxhase bethuna eza programs zibe khona. Bamana ukuthi kuwe ayikhona le percentage uyinikezela incinci njalo njalo masambe. Bathi ke kwakhona ukubonelelwa ngemali urhulumente makaqinisekise into batorhwana angathi nje kuba ingomama abaninzi kwelicala imali mayibe ncinci nayo enye imali iye kwelinye icala ayikhona. Uthi FFC ke niyamazi FFC nglobe emane icimela ke pa uthi FFC premier siyacela kwakhona nceda torhwana nyusa i-allocation isibonelelo ke sone semali ukwenzela bathina amabhinqa sikwazi ukuphuhlisa ke noko ezo programs sinazo ukubhekela phambili. Endisayibonayo kwakhona ke ngoku uthe uhlalo ke zeni bemfutshane uthi ke ngoku ibalulekile into ba ke ngoku zonke i-programs zomama bomama nimamele kahle zonke i-programs zethu uthi FFC mazincede zize ngaphambili yaye ke bona bengu-FFC bazawuthi premium abuyane wenza kakuhle mfundini khawuncede zonke ezi programs uzenzayo qinisekisa torhwana ufaka ezo nkozo zifumanekayo kwenze bazibe nokuphuhlela ngaphambili. Bye FFC. Mandize ke kumama wasesara Baartman umama uBoysen. Uthi umama uBoysen ke sesona sithili sikamasipala sibanzi ke kwimpuma koloni ke nizibonile ke zadolophu bezibalile ba. Uthi ke torhwana ke bengumasipala wakwaSarah Baartman bazama ngazo zonke indlela ukuqinisekisa ba bona kuba benyuliwe bama bakhokele abantu mabenze imisebenzi ehambelana neziphakamiso zabahlali. Striving to upgrade the various aspects of the communities. Uthi nine enibaphetheyo beSarah Baartman bajayiva la ke umculo wenu. Bathi ke ngokubona baqinisekise into ba njengoba singumasipala weSarah Baartman masibe nexesha neqondo elithile lomsebenzi esizawuthi senze iziphakamiso ezenziwe ngabahlali. Masiqinisekise kwakhona into ba umsebenzi siwenza singumasipala ukumgangatho phezulu ukuhambelana ke nezinto eziziswe ngaphambili ngabahlali. Thina singumasipala waseSarah Baartman sizimisele into ba akho nto zakuyifihla yaye sawuphendula xa behlali besithi hey nenze ntoni nantoni sizawuphendula singuSarah Baartman. Accountability ke bethuni ningixelele bantu ibhudile utsho ke umama lo nto ba ke wazibiza torhwana ke nezidolophu zabo pha eSarah Baartman nisibonile ke ba ninzi kwazi 27 yonke nepaka ke apho sinothi sonwabe khona ke anzi ukuchaza amadolo akrwela ndawoni na xa esonwabile ke phazi intathu ke paka pha lonto ibonisa ke umasipala waseSarah Baartman wenza izinto noko bethuna ezincomekayo. Uthi ke uyawuqaphela ke ikhona imepe bebeyibonisile apha iyabonisa into ba ifamily yasemacwerheni xa imkile kwindawo ethile yotsho Humansdorp ihambelana nento ba la family ithi yona sifuna kaloku unyusela umgangatho wokuphila kosapho asinawusoloko sizifihle pha phansi kwalantaba sezilalini. Uthi ke niyawuqaphela lonto ke kulamicaba yenzileyo pha bazama bahlali kuphucula umgangatho wempilo abayiphilayo. Bathi ke bona ke ngoku kulento ke nguthiwa si-strategic direction ingaba ke bengumasipala bengamaqela opolitiko bajonge ukuya ngaphi na bawusephi na umasipala wakwaSarah Baartman. Uthi AMC kwela 14 kwewu asithoba ngamabhinqa iDA ineshumi nambini lo councillor kodwa ke ababini torhwana ngamabhinqa uEFF naye ingathi uyalandela ingathi le mnye kanye babini kane kodwa ke bathi ke ngoku mamelani bahlali sina 55 yamabhinqa namadoda ayi37 esanda waqesha ke kunkqubo entshe esanda kuba khona ke torhwana ukubonisa nje into ba umasipala waseSarah Baartman unenjongo ethile ebukekayo ejongekayo ubheka phambili. Bathi ke ngoku nomasipala wabo pha umuntu obhexesha inkqubo kamasipala pha kuthiwa unezinto libhinqa mosandile. Uthi ke ngoku mama lona ke thina singuSarah Baartman siyacela torhwana into ba sinicela ningabahlali into ba lanto kuthiwa ke luphuhliso lamabhinqa female development iphambili ke kwiprogram yabo ukuzama ukuqinisekisa into ba umuntu ongumama akasilelanga ngemva ke kwinkqubo ebheka phambili yabo. Hayi ndibatyile ke ngoku.
I could hear they say amen. Thanks, Papa. It was very nice. It was so good listening to both of you. when they say amen, they mean Yeah, we are just going to, yeah, we are just going to give to the last presenter, Councillor Ngoko. He is a member of the MMC, but it will not be long. As soon as we stick to time, then we are done. And after that, I will give over to the deputy chair, and then it will not take very long. Councillor Ngoko, I'm not sure where he is on the platform. Can you hear me? Councillor Ngoko? Member of the MMC? I'm not sure.
Yes, I can hear you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. He's from Alfred and Zo. Thanks, you can start. Just stick to time.
Thank you very much, Chair. Due to time, let me just say protocol is observed, but I must also acknowledge the presence of MECs program. Due to the sensitivity of the network in my location, and this is the chair, maybe I can just share my picture at a later stage. Our presentation will just focus on a number of areas, but I will try to summarize because of time. We are talking about DTM as Alfred Nzo District Municipality, which I think is also more relevant in the subject matter in terms of the coordination. I think all of us, we are aware that the district development model was launched by the president in 2019. But I don't want to focus more on it, Chair. I must just quickly go down to the champion who are championing the DTM in Alfred Nzo district municipality. We have Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, who's the national champion. Here in the province, we've got MEC Fundile Kate, who's our provincial champion. Then in the district, we've got Councillor Mhlelembana, who is the district executive mayor. Then we've got local mayors in Tabankulu, Councillor Tsileng Sobutongo, Winimatikizela Mandela, local municipality. We've got Councillor Daniswa Mafumbata. In Matatian local municipality, we've got Councillor Mgenela. And lastly, in Umzimvubu local municipality, we've got Councillor Undev. I must indicate, Chair, based on the subject matter, that out of 5 mayors in Alfred Nzo district municipality, inclusive of the locals, 3 of the mayors are females in Umzimvubu, in Tabankulu, and Winimatikizela Mandela. That also, Chair, seeks to address the matter at hand when you look at the aims and objectives of the Women's Charter. I think we must just give a round of applause with that regard. Coming to the demographics of the district, I think they are there. We've got a population of almost 1 million, dominated by young people. Also, when you look at women, are also, in terms of dominance, Chair, they are number 2, Amadota, Apa Ezans. Let me proceed, Chair. I'm trying to save time because I want to go straight to the core business in relation to this presentation. The institutionalization of gender responsive budgeting and implementation. The purpose of Alfred Nzo District Municipality Gender Responsive Program is to create an enabling environment for the delivery of local government services to meet specific gender needs of women and men, as well as promote gender equality both internal and external, to Alfredson District Municipality. Also to provide training, raise awareness, and build capacity internally and externally to the organization aimed at empowerment of women and promotion of gender equality. Also to conduct gender research that will inform service delivery. To establish the establishment of SPU strategy that deals with issues relating to women empowerment and gender equality. Also to promote the process of women's advancement and empowerment, to ensure that gender mainstreaming across all government departments through DTM, which I indicated or highlighted earlier, that is also key in relation to responding to gender issues. Lastly, Chair, that gender responsiveness must always form part of ANDM's ITP and employment equity and objective. The next slide, here we're talking also about the programs now in relation to the current financial year, which is 2022-2023 financial year. We've got men in partnership against gender-based violence and femicide. We've got National Women's Month program. Got Men in Partnership Against HIV and AIDS, dialogues on Gpvf in partnership with traditional authorities, women-owned businesses support program, gender empowerment program. In relation to gender-based violence and femicide, as a district we have established a Gpvf response team that is comprised of the following stakeholders: South African Police Service, Department of Social Development, South African Social Security Agency, the Department of Education, Department of Home Affairs, traditional leaders, Men's Forum, the district municipality, and all its local municipalities. All interventions undertaken are decided by this response team. Cases differ, therefore, interventions are determined by the merit of each case. Also, engendering the DTM, ITP, and LED, the Alfredson approach to DTM is coordination of government response to challenges of poverty, unemployment, inequality, underdevelopment, particularly amongst women, youth, and people living with disability. A concerted effort to the challenges that are facing the district can be achieved through collaborated response by all stakeholders to play an active role in reversing the scourge of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Pillar number 1 of the DTMs deals with people's development and demographics. This entails a process of understanding the current population profile and development dynamics, and by which a desired demographic profile and radical improvement in the quality of life of the people is achieved through skills development, economic positioning, spatial restructuring, and environmental sustainability, infrastructure engineering, housing, service provisioning, and government management. Ensure inclusivity by gender budgeting based on the needs and aspirations of our people and community at local level. Engendering the district development model by engendering the DTM chair, the district has an overarching goal on people development as follows. By 2020, we envisage as the district a society with no abject poverty, no hunger, improved standard of living, and where conditions enable all to fulfill their human potential. Collaborative, innovative approaches to child, youth, and women community development bound. The district further set targets in relation to goals as follows: increase learning opportunity by 15% by 2030 and 25% by 2050. Increase employment opportunities by 25% and lower unemployment by 25% by 2030. Increase household income by 20% in 2030 and 30% by 2050. Decrease incidence of gender-based violence by 30% by 2023. If you look, these are serious, ambitious goals that as the district we have set ourselves. All local municipalities and the district have well established and active forums and networks available to challenge gender-based violence before end of this year, Chairperson. All local municipalities and the district are using a uniform communication mechanism that is monitored and measured against its efficacy and success rate through yearly customer satisfaction surveys and bi-yearly good governance survey starting in 2022. This system should also have an inbuilt internal management system to ensure accountability and responsiveness. On the pillar of economic positioning, the district has set targets as follows. The IHL structures to be fully functional by end of 2023. The business and investment incentive scheme is developed and communicated by end of 2023. Create conditions that are conducive for investment and to attract investors for job opportunities and other economic development by 2025. Investment increases by 20% by 2030, 50% by 2050. All local and district business forums are inclusive and actively engaged in local development initiatives. Rejuvenation of tourism, attraction and heritage destination. As a district, we are a district that is full of heritage. That is why even the Eastern Cape side, when we talk Alfred, when we talk heritage, we are the pillar in that regard. There is an increase in the work allocated to SMMEs by 50% by 2030. Here we're talking of being biased towards women in particular. There is an increase in commercial farming practices by 2035. I mean by 35% by 2030. The informal sector has also grown by 25% in 2030 and 35% in 2050. The district has to ensure the inclusive participation of women and youth in the economic opportunities within the district. Chairperson, in conclusion, where are we and the way forward? The district development model was developed and adopted by the Council in August 2022. The development of IDP has been aligned to both DDM and district development plan aspirations of Alfred Nzo. The district has structures in place to enhance advocacy and mainstreaming of gender issues in the developmental programs of government. Thank you, Chairperson, for the opportunity.
Baie dankie, thank you. We are going now to the part where the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces will deal with the questions asked by our wonderful woman here. And then after that, we will summarize everything. Honorable Sylvia Lucas, Deputy Chair of the National Council of Provinces. Alala, Comrade Sylvia Lucas, alala. Alala, Honorable Sylvia Lucas, alala. Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Igamela makosikas. Ah, it seems you don't only say that. Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Yo, I know you are tired. Even from Mega Gamela Makosikas.
Thank you very much. I'm going to sit just here. And I'm going to say 5 from that side. If you have any input, any question. Number 1, go already to the chairs. Go to the chairs. Number 2, go to the chairs. Number 3, go to the chairs. 2 more from this side. You are 4 now. No, the chairs are that side. Go there, in the 4. Who's number 5? Can we have a 5th person? We want you to make input. There are 5 now. We want you to make input or ask questions. We are here to make sure that the government hear you. And they must go back and implement if possible, but also arrange other meetings to give feedback. If you stand up, you introduce yourself, and then you raise your issue. 3 minutes rule.
Wat is die tyd nou? Goeiemiddag mense. Afternoon. Molweni wenkwemini. Ek kan dit doen alles. Baie dankie. Jy kan maar sit.
Thank you.
My name mna ke ndingu-Ayanda Makebenge. Imbukufa ke bantu bakokwethu yaphesha kwenceba.
By saying so much, you are using your time.
Yeah.
Focus, please.
It's just 3 points that I wanted to make. It is so saddening to sit here, listen to the initiatives being articulated and outlined here, and we haven't featured none from the national government to the provincial one, all up the municipalities. It's only Nelson Mandela Bay where they have provisions made and put in place for the gender non-conforming people. That is us, the LGBTI. For instance, I am a woman. Sex at birth, my sexual genitalia would say that of a male, but I'm a woman, I'm trans woman. Therefore, I need to be recognized as a woman. And I've got a problem, that's my second point now, with the adherence to treatment, accessibility of our healthcare facilities in the public sector. Talking of the clinics, the public hospitals. They've taken the budget that were empowering civil organizations, which that are our NPOs around the Bay, and they've taken it to another provinces and other municipalities across the province, leaving the Nelson Mandela Bay with increasing numbers of people not adhering to treatment. And those initiatives were trying to work towards curbing abantu who are defaulting in the treatment. The art, I've heard one, I should think MEC is mentioning art. The sensitization programs which were done in the NMPM worked towards curbing people whom go along the way and default. And it is good, Sister Tabisa, and we need to clap hands for the initiatives which we've done with APA and NMP that have influenced the province and the national, that has led them to come again to the NMPM so as to work towards establishment of the implementation of the DDM. Our friends can't be coming telling us about the DDM, whereas they should be implementing the DDM, which we've started it for them in South Africa, here, even the men's parliament. Headlines, SABC2. It is us, NMPM. The point that I wanted to make lastly, before I sit down. Try and minimize such of these sessions and collect the information that needs to be disseminated to our communities at municipality levels. Because our concentration levels now have deteriorated now, because we've been here since 8 a.m. If you can filter down this information to the municipality levels, la office kasis Tabisa Mandla iyombisanga pe Nelson Mandela Metro iyasebenza except for that le muterkom met goeders goes.
Thank you very much. You may continue. 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sinathe Mandungane. I'm from Nelson Mandela Metro, one of the women leadership at the ANC Women's League. I want to make a submission to the leadership, especially I want to welcome the report from the executive mayor of Nelson Mandela Metro, or with regards to the state of women in terms of participation, in terms of the municipality. I want to make a submission in terms of reviving or establishing a women's desk in the municipality, and also a youth desk that will monitor these programs on a daily basis and attend meetings of officials, actually even in council, and make them accountable on women's program, so that we don't hear about these initiatives that will be maybe be concentrated at 10% of the population of women at Nelson Mandela Metro, but they will be disseminated in all of the clusters of Nelson Mandela Metro. If women have programs, they will go to that office. If bakhalanga lo nto manina se Metro, bazaya kula women desk office that will be inside the municipality. That office must have policies ezizawuxoxwa ngathi manina bala office ifuna ibe njani na. Xa bekufuneka besikhokhela abantu bala office baza account kuthi as women. Even the program abazenzayo iza informa kuthi the women in communities. It's either women in NGO, ngoba ngeyiphi khala, ngoba kuyiphi cluster, as long bangamanina basebenza Mandela Metro. On a daily basis, up in Metro, we see women going around, even in courts, protesting, even assisting women who are being raped, being abused in communities. Siyacela we NCOP in making sure that as the Tutuzela centers, they are visible, they are established in each and every police station in our communities, so that they can be able to assist these women who are raped. Even as the rape kits, then you have to make sure as the rape kits is available, where's the police station? Even the process of reporting these cases, then they were thoroughly so that they can stand in the court of law. Even like say National Prosecuting Authority, we should have someone also by social worker and someone from the prosecuting authority, politicians, and assist these women and these young girls who are molested in a daily basis in this municipality. Sifuna implementation as to say when are these things are going to happen, what is the budget, what is the process plan. So that desk is going to follow in those processes. Raise all of these issues because abanye mama babadala who are were raising these issues. Nathi we become older as women, siyangena ke ngoku into the women mainstream in terms of activism, in terms of women as young people, but we are channeling the same thing. Sicela kube kwi office kube kwi active accountability.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Remember, I said 5. So it will be 5 from this side, and then it will be 5 from
Molweni
this side.
baphathiswa. Ndilapha mna ndinguNcumisa Khondlo. Ndiphuma phaa kula NPO from Phuhla Mzalo Yedwa Single Parent Association. Singomama ababodwa phayana.
I'm coming from this
Phuhla Mzalo Yedwa Single Parent
Phuhla Mzamo Yedwa Single Parent
Association.
Association.
Phayana sinengxaki phaya singaba mama sine cases nisi ezingenayo phayana.
We've got a problem as women there. There are more cases which are being reported.
Phayana sine clinic phayana abantu abahambisela amayeza benika abantu omama abadala.
We've got clinics, people who are taking pills for elderly people.
Ngoko mama bethu phayana bayakhala bafuna sibekhe itoyitoyi ngoba kaloku bayahlukunyezwa ngamaphara ethu.
Our mothers, elderly people are complaining, saying that we must go out and make toy because they've got a problem with our kids, which are called the paras.
Okunye endifuna ukuthetha apha sinabantwana pha kukho cases ngenayo phayana omama abahlala nabantwana abangafundiyo abana 22 years 19 years bahlukumezekile ba disabled but abafundi.
And we've got also cases that have been reported where mothers are staying with kids which are 21, 19, some of them are disabled and they are not schooling.
Now bendive umama uFanta ethetha apha benifuna ubuza kuye sibasephi abantwana because ngokubadala bahlala naba bazali abanye babo balapha nthema bazomamela bazivele apha kuni ba ithini isolution yaba bantwana bahlala nabo bebadala bengaphangeli.
I heard Mother Fanta talking. I want to know from her, where are we going to take these kids to? And they are old, 19, 20. And I also ask them to come so that they can hear for themselves from you, Mother.
Enkosini.
Thank you.
Thank you, Man Mumisa, that you are still an activist up until today. I know you from far.
Molweni.
Good morning.
My name is Tabisa Mkakule.
Igama lam ndinguThabisa.
Ndivela ku Aqhamisa Community Development.
I'm coming from
Aqhamisa.
Aqhamisa Development.
Pha sine problem kukho abantwana apha abeza mhlambi abantwana ufumanisa ba uzalwa ngumama waseLesotho but utata ngowalapha. Abantwana amalungelo wabo ayenyathelelwa kakhulu kuba abakwazi ukwenzelwa iID kuba bene problem yokuba umama ayingowalapha but ufumanisa ba bazalelwe apha notata ngowalapha.
We've got a problem of kids there which the mother is coming from, let's say, foreign countries, but the father is from here, South Africa. With that problem that we have, they can't even apply for an ID or a birth certificate while their father is in South Africa and those kids are being born here in South Africa. Is that possible?
Sorry. Kukhona abantwana ufumanisa ba abantwana ba end up bengena kwi drugs nge problem yento yokuba abantwana uyafumanisa ba baphila abazali babo ngabantu abaphila ne disability. Ufumanisa ba apha ekhaya akuphangelwa umzali akana ID yena qala. Ufumanisa ba nabantwana bathathu endlini abana ID abakho nto baphila yiyo. Ufumanisa ba abantwana ba end up bengena kwi drugs.
These kids are disabled. The mother is not working, they are unemployed. At the end of the day, because of there's no income, these kids end up using drugs.
Ekugqibela ndiyacela make ziyekwe izinto zike zize zithethwa ngu-national no-province zibe zingekho apha kuthi uba singathi ikhona idesk esithile okanye i-office enithile eninoya kuyo nikwazi ukuba hands on kuba xa nifika apha yonke into kuba ngathi ihamba ngelevel right. For example kukho lento ye-SMMEs. Eza-SMMEs kubalwa i-amount ezingaka ekubhenefitha kuzo abantu abangawomama but xa ninohlala phansi nifumanise ayilo lo hlobo kwenzeka ngalo. Ndiyafuna ukuthi ngaske ezinye izinto kube nedesk ethile ezahoyana nazo esizakwazi uyokhala kuzo sizobona uba yonke into ihamba ngendlela right na kuba iproblem yam xa silapha sivamana namangako okanye izinto kube ngathi yonke into ihamba smooth but ufumanise uba siba nee-challenges ezithile esizifumanayo njengoba sisebenza nabantu. Enkosi.
There are things up there, they go down. You heard numbers being called, but at the end of the day, we don't have a desk where we can go and complain. And also, after you left, things are going slow. Next one.
It's Lungelo Mayava speaking here. I think for starters, we need to applaud the work that has been done in terms of preparing the reports. We really do appreciate that. And I think in terms of us as women, the reports are very silent on what is actually being done for career women aged from 35 to 60. I didn't hear much of that. And the reason being that umama ongaphangeliyo uyadeleleka akanasidima ebantwaneni. It's not every mama or woman that wants to own an SMME. There are career-driven women. So I think when we are talking, we also need to start ring fencing positions for Abamam. We need not be silent on that. Policy does not speak to those women, and unfortunately, we cannot pull a rug on that. Reality communities it. And there's also MEC wakwa agriculture. Akondo indihlupha ngathi xa kuphuma eza forms, ziyaphuma eza forms ibe enhle lanto. Uve umuntu ongayi understand ye esithi kuwe ndicela ube yi-surety yam. Ibhlungu lanto because umama ongaphangeliyo akanazo izinto zokuba afake enze into ze-surety. Siyacela ke lo systemic bottleneck, let's try and work around it because it diffuses whatever desired impact of these programs. I'm sure ikhona enye into ethethwe apha ebalulekileyo about i-victim support center. Siyazicela i-victim support center because we do know the support on social development zisemapoliseni. Once we have got all those victim support centers, trust me, it will alleviate in terms of creating jobs for women.
Thank you.
And also giving the support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. It was very relevant issues. We said 5 from this side. Now, I don't know, I see already 2 people sitting here. Is it from this side? 1, 2, there is 3. You can, I said 5. And there are so many hands that are raised here. I said 5. You may come. You may come. The 2 that came, they came. The 2 of you, you just came by yourself. But you are there now. We will not send you back. Please don't fight me. And don't show me that you are going to be more than 5. Because I will just accommodate 5. But because in the end, you will be the ones that will be in a hurry. It won't be me. So let us just have that 5. Speak. 3 minutes. If there is translation, we will give a little bit 1 minute more. I said 5. People don't have to fight for this. Let us just continue. Can we please get order? In any case, it's only one person that I have identified personally. Speak, ma'am.
Monica Mnwana, tisuka etina kwano buhle. Monica Mnwana. Sine NPO engluthando Ovisi Care Center. Senza home-based care. Siyalima nolima. Sikwazi members ase la plant farming. Sine challenge phaya. Asina manzi, asina cingo. Siyangena kwezi ndawo sicela uncedo. I-problem asina lease agreement. And ke ngoku sicela amancedo kwi-lease agreement for 10 years. Because ekuhambeni kwethu sifumanisa into yokubana
Monica, you have got a very specific issue. And I will ask Nzwandile just to take your details. The MEC of Agriculture is here.
Thank
then
you,
we can take the question from someone else.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Yes, Pa.
Oya, mother.
Net oomblik, sorry broer. Candace, kan julle net vir haar assist laat iemand haar details kry asseblief?
Oya, mother.
Jy kan maar voortgaan broer.
Ek is Sizzle Alexander. Is a senior chief van die Nama tribe, First Nation. So ek is hier om kwelpunte van die gemeenskap te nader.
Ndize apha ke mna ke njengenkokheli ke kwicandelo elinibona uba ndinxibe njani uba ndimkhoyisane mna but isayirhulup nobuyera apho
The Nama tribe.
Nama tribe ngaba lapha ke enzulwini zempuma koloni Yes, ma'am.
Goeie kam, Nonna.
Ja, nee, die kwelpunt is, ek sien niemand praat van die, hulle praat van die goede in die parlement en goede, maar die, op die vloer, hulle adres nie die vloersoute, wat in Suid-Afrika gebeur nie.
Ndiqaphela into yoba njengoba bethetha nje apha nekomiti epalamente bathetha ngemiba engentla kwethu yotsho napha phezulu komapalamente hayi ngemicimbi echana thina apha phantsi.
Ons het probleme in die gemeenskap.
Sineengxaki apha eluntwini.
Sosiale probleme.
Iingxaki zasekuhlaleni.
Armoed.
Siyalamba.
Die mense werk nie.
Abantu abaphangeli.
Daar is mense van buite wat kom na ons land toe.
Kukho abantu abasuka ngaphandle koMzantsi Afrika beze apha phakathi kuMzantsi Afrika.
Ek weet nie kom hulle vir werk nie of ons nasie op te breek nie.
Abazanga apha ke kuba ke bezokuthi ke babe negalelo apha ngaphandle ke kobonakala ke bephazamisa isizwe sethu.
En ons mense wat werk vir die government, wat posisies het.
Thina abantu baphangelela urhulumente abanezikhundla khona.
Is 'n probleem.
Yingxaki.
Hulle is te lekker in hulle stoelen, verdien geld verniet.
Abantu baphangelela urhulumente akumnandi ke kwizikhundla zabo bavuyela imali.
Hulle is hoogtyd dat hulle verander word. Elke 6 maande moet hulle geskei word, rondgeskei word en hulle die mense raak hulle gewoond, hulle smokkel saam die mense.
Ithi inkosi lifikile ixesha loba mabatshintshwe abo bantu aba mabasuswe ezihlalweni.
Die drug lords. Die mense kom van oorsee af, van ander plekke af, Nigeria, all over the show. Onze kinders is, Suid-Afrika is een van die beste lande. Onze kinders word geïnvloed met drugs.
1 minuut.
Uthi umzekelo ngoku ilizwe lethu ligubungelwa ngabantwana bethu abaphazanyiswa kusetyenziselwa ezi ziyobisi.
Okay, 1 minuut.
Ja, ek het vir jou ekstra gegee omdat daar getolk word. Dis waarom ek sê fokus op jou topic.
Julle wil nie
die
adresseer nie.
Ek wil net vra, moenie so wees nie. Daar kom baie vergaderings en dinge. Ek het hier na toe gekom omdat ek wil hê die vrouens moet weet, ons bring terugvoer vir hulle. So praat oor die sosiale probleme. Moenie mense aanval nie, want ek kom van die Kaap af, van Appington af en ek is vandag ek was in Queenstown, ek is in PE, dis hoe ek werk, want dit is my werk. So ek voel dit moenie wees dat dit veralgemeen word om dinge te sê nie. Praat oor die probleme sodat ons kan vir die regering vra om oplossings te soek.
Okay, ons het probleme in ons gemeenskap waar werklik is. Ons het 'n soup kitchen. Ons probeer om hulp te kry, maar ons kry nie assistance nie. Waar moet ek gaan? Op die public plekke, soos die library en die councillors offices, sit informasie waar die mense kan gaan om hulle probleme op te los. Ons struggle om die kinders te voed in ons gemeenskap. Dis basic number 1.
Ek het vir die issues wat jy gereis het, as die issues van unemployment, die issues van drugs, die issues van illegal immigration or immigrants, die issues van die drop-in centers waar die soup kitchen is, en ek ook die issue van informatie, wat jy benodig om te weet waarom te gaan. So daar is 5 issues wat jy gereis het, ons het het gehoor, ons neem kennis daarvan, die tyd is nou klaar.
Okay, ek kan net iets vra. Asseblief, gee ons respons. Laat ons weet. En van man van master kry. Dankie.
Baie dankie.
Usihlalo kulungisile yonke lento kuba ewe sizivile zonke izikhalazo nizimamele nani. kuba benimqhwabela izandla andisuba sayitolika le.
Thank you very much. Continue.
Molweni bethu nani endlini. Igama lami nguDipuo Kondile. Igama lami nguDipuo Kondile. Dilapha eGqeberha.
I'm Umambo Bongile, no?
Kondile Cape.
Dipuo Kondile, it's fine. I will ask when I didn't hear the name. You may continue.
Okay. Ndisuka apha ke kwindlu yabantu abadala.
I'm coming from an old age person's place,
No, Older Persons Forum.
Elder Persons
Elapha-
Forum.
Elapha eNelson Mandela ndiyayikhokela ke.
I'm a leader of that forum.
Ndimi apha ke ngozokhala. Andazi kwesingaphi ngoku.
I'm
Mhlawumbi ndawuncedakala kweli tyeri.
Chairperson, I'm here to come and raise a complaint, and I hope
not
that
a
this time
complaint.
I'll be attended.
Yes, I got it. They want to be assisted. They can just be clear on the assistance because there are representatives of government and municipalities. How can they assist?
Yeah. Thina singabantu abadala sidinga indawo zokwenzela imithungo yethu. Asina shelter.
As elderly people, we need places where we can do our needling work. We do not have our own spaces.
And xa siza apha ke kwezi holo sayazi uba ziphantsi kwe-section 21.
Whenever we come to these venues, the hall, we know that these are under Section 21.
So ziyaqeshwa nawunikwa ngoku ngomso nize kuthiwe hayi kukho umngcwabo ukhoyo.
So these places are actually hired. You come here now, and then you book it, and then told tomorrow that no, there's a funeral taking place.
So kudala ke sicela ke lento ye-shelters okubana masizifumane mani indawo zethu nokubana zezi buildings zesikolo noba zizantoni zivandalizwayo, at least masenzelwe sibe nendawo esinothi sizivise kamandi kuzo.
And Chairperson, it's been a long time that we've been pleading for us to be provided with these suitable places for us, whether it's a school or actually a dilapidated one that can be utilized, be given over to us.
Yeah, yes, mosba ixesha lethu lifutshane gqithi sesizawufa, but into esifunayo, yes, of course, once you are over 60 ujonge ngapha ngoku akujonganga so.
And our time on earth is too short, Mama.
Yes.
Thank you.
So siyacela man, kanisiviseni kamnandi. Sifuna uva kamnandi, sithi sisingqenqa, sibe sive kamnandi. And our eyogqibela, I think phambi kweyogqibela, umeya wethu walapha, umeya wethu Eugene Johnson. Asazi nokokuba kwenzeka ntoni na. Kule term yakhe asifumani laa nto kuthiwa yi-mayor's tea. We used to have mayoral's tea, but asifumani ngoku. Asiyazi uba kwenzeka ntoni na. Siyacinga ukuba naye ke makakhacinge okokuba kwenzeka ntoni na.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you. Time is
Hayi
up.
Bambi.
What's happening? What's happening?
She is a blind chairperson. They are trying to
Okay.
assist her.
Yes, then they must just help us there. Continue, Mama. Siyaquba.
My name is Tenjiwe Nonimba. I'm from Siapambili Disabled Community Project in Woma. Program Director, let me start by thanking you. Gokuti nizise sign language. Yes, I'm blind, but a person who seated next to me told me that there is a sign language. So I'm applauding the government by doing so. Secondly, yes, indeed, our government is trying to do something for persons with disabilities, but it's not enough. Ikaus semaqathini. Hulumende needs to pull up the socks, izoba semadolweni, so that we can be happy. We can be in the same phase with an able-bodied woman. Okokuqala, allow me to use my own language, to express myself with my own language. Ndizokhupha kakuhle. Ndimvile umama waka social development ethetha apha. I'm worried that she's already left. Yes, kwenzekile okukwenzekileyo kwi-social workers. Kubhlungu kona akukho kuhle. Kodwa kwenzeka kakade kukho shortage ye-social workers. Kukho i-shortage ye-transport. Sifaka i-cases. Ndisuka kusiya phambili Disabled Community Project and siyasebenza disabled as we are. We wanted to prove an able-bodied woman that there's nothing wrong with us because we are disabled. We can do whatever an able woman do and siyenze more. Ndikakho sosihlalo sakho che and ndenze izinto zenzeke. I think urhulumente ozayo unida an abled woman or a disabled woman azotshintsha the community, azotshintsha the society, azotshintsha ilizwe lonke because ilizwe ngoku lonakele. Andiboni mna I won't have favors to govern. Zothanda wonke umuntu, zokwenzela wonke umuntu. I-social workers sifaka i-problems ezifaced ngamanina. Abantwana banazibirth abakwazi accessa i-child support grant. Abantwana bashiywe nomakhulu, bashiywe nomakazi, home affairs kunzima ukuthi abenzele. Funeka kwenziwe i-interviews abangade babizwe kuzo. As a result, abanye bafuna ubheka ukoluka, abakwazi ukoluka. They wanted to commit suicide because umntana akakwazi ubheka nasesikolweni uvinje ilungelo lakhe.
Thank you.
Okwesibi
Thank you. I've given you 4 minutes and we must still talk. We must still translate.
Okay, sorry,
We must still translate.
and then kuko public works. Ndiyam upload public works. Not Dr. Da, ndiyaba upload because bayenza. Kodwa kuko la nkqubo ka EPWP. Ndiyacela la nkqubo ka EPWP ikijongwe i-agency yayo ingu-IDT for i-organizations. Thina zi-organizations zingenazi transport, zingenamali, asikwazi uaplya eMonti. Tell me ukusuka apha uyofaka eMonti. And kuko red tapes ezininzi ezifuna ususwa.
Thank you, Sister Njwe. Your time is up. Can I have the translation, please?
The issue of the social workers that are being attacked, it's something else. But the major problem that we had of the social workers is that they have a big shortage regarding the social workers. This issue of them being attacked is something new. But the major issue is that we've got a shortage. And furthermore, I wish that you should understand that we as disabled people, we can do anything that we can be given opportunity to do. Like for instance, I can even be a chair, just like you are. If you are given chance to govern, we will not be demanding favors. We will like and love everybody like anybody else. We will bring change. We hope that the next government will be led by a blind or disabled person. those are the people that we hope will be able to bring change on this country. And furthermore, the issue of the social workers, they assist our community because our children don't have birth certificates. They can't access the grants from the government because of those documents that they don't have. The social workers are trying to help us with those. At times, our children are promised to be called for interviews, but those interviews never take place. And many of them miss their opportunity to go for initiations because they don't have the necessary documentation that is required of them in order to go for initiation. And some of them even commit suicide because they are being embarrassed on their age group of not having to go the initiation at the initiation stage custom because the stage allows them to be. The only problem is that they don't have the necessary documents. So we are pleading with you, please get more social workers for us to come and assist our people. And to Public Works, there's this program now for the EPWP. And Dr. Da, we also applaud the role that they are playing. But with the EPWP, we, the people who don't have transport, it's very difficult for us to go and apply in East London. So we still suffer because of that. The offices are a bit too far for us to go to East London. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was now Sister Njue's translation. How many people are there at the back? How many people are there at the back? 2. Allow there 2 people. We will then end with the 2. Okay? Continue, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ruth Williams. Ik gaan 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat. Ek gaan ook vinnig praat en ek wil die ander mense geleentheid gee. Ons is 'n gender-based violence organisation in die noordelike area Shode. Ons is gestrek nou tot na Boysons Park toe. Ons is 2 jaar, ons is fully compliant, but last year, the MEC of last year made a lot of promises to the organisation wat nie nagekom het nie. En ons voel net baie ongelukkig omdat ons verskriklik hard in ons community werk sonder funding, sonder stipends, with nothing. Everything that we do for our victims, it is out of our own pockets. We also thank the MEC, we also thank them.
As het net oor die issue wat jy wil praat?
Ja, ek wil oor die GBV praat.
As het oor die GBV issue is, wel ek graag hê geen, laat hulle vir jou ook support dat jy jou contact details gee, en sodat hulle met jou verder, dat die municipaliteit sowel as die departement het verder met jou opneem.
Dankie, ma'am.
Baie
Baie
dankie. Dankie.
Umalona ke uthi basebenzele i-gender-based violence organization phaya kula mmandla wasemantla e-northern areas base-Shorterville apho bakhoyo kodwa ngoku sebenabele nase-Boysons Park apho iofisi abo zinabele khona kwaye ke bangumbutho okwaziyo ithobela yonke imiqathango elindelekileyo kuba kwarhulumente kwaye ke abantu ababancedayo babanceda ngepokotho yabo abanayo nesente abayifumanayo nakubani na basebenzisa iipokotho zabo bacela ke uncedo ke kuloo mmandla usihlalo ke umcelile ukuthi makashiye iinkcukacha zakhe.
Thank you. Yes, dear.
Molweni, igama lam. My name is Liana Kola. I am with Children's Forum. And my question is, there were policies mentioned to protect children. Now, my question is, in the policies that are implemented and put in place, what is the protection of a girl that identifies as a lesbian? There are cases reported in our safe spaces, cases of discrimination by family, friends, and society, cases of corrective rape, sexual boundaries being violated, and many more. These cases come from children who identify as lesbians, and they are scared to come forward because of the discrimination. And my second question is, what measures are being put in place in the terms of assisting child-headed homes? Because we get lots of cases regarding the safety of a child who lives in a child-headed home.
Just before you continue, sorry, my dear, there is a person here of Nelson Mandela Metro that is on the Special Programs Office. I want also the young lady that spoke just now, as well as others that had specific issues, to give their details to her so that it can be processed. Let them just give to the Special Programs official of Nelson Mandela Metro. We'll take it from there. Yes, you may continue, Mama.
Thanks, Chair. Malibongwe. Igama lami ngulizeka. My name is Lizeka Nojilana. I am the founder of Amaqobokazana Women and Youth Empowerment Foundation. Okwami kuncinci chairperson. The presentations here, I'm not going to repeat what has already been said, but the presentation was looking very cozy if you compare it to the life of a woman. It is really sad that our government have got policies that can be a remedy to the situation that our women are going through, more especially the women in the rural areas, women in the informal settlements, women in the townships, and women in farms. My suggestion would be, if you are looking at the statistics of July 2021 and September 2021 that was released by Comrade Becky Qel, the statistics was saying about 13,000 cases of gender-based violence where women were killed. That was a large number. That really tells that the policies that are in place are not implemented. So that means we need to do something. Secondly, my suggestion would be the intergovernmental relationship, whereby the Department of Justice, the Department of Home Affairs, the Department of Social Development, and other departments, they can integrate. The women, they got married at another department. Let's say they are married or they are divorced at the justice, and then they have to go to Home Affairs. Home Affairs is saying bring this and bring that. All that integration, it's like it's another government, but it is the same government. So we need women in leadership that are going to lead women by bakwazi ukuchaza ezingxaki that omama are going through, because we cannot be saying we are leaders. We are leaders in our branches. We are leaders in different parts of the society. But ithini impact of our leadership. Secondly, we don't need women representation, Comrades Lucas, only in terms of numbers. We don't need percentages. We need women with capacity. We are sick and tired of being led by women who are just front-lining for men. We need women, we need activists. We need women that are going to say, no, this is not going to happen to another woman. We don't need someone, just a female J, to stand there. We are just begging, guys. We are really, really begging. And then the last one, we really need women that will stand up, as you are there, who are raising up the young women. We need that strategy that was once used, I think I was still in Buffalo City, of lift other young women as you rise. Don't rise alone. Tomorrow I must have that thing that I can be the chairperson of the Women's Charter. In order for us, chairperson, to do or to be able to implement the vision of 2030, we need to go down to the ground. Abantu abangomama bayasokola ezantsi. We need a women's league, if ikhona in this branch or in this area, that is going to say the problem there in that house of umntwana ongenamama, there is a problem there of a mother that has got this and this problem. We need the real leaders. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much. With that, we are finished with the issue of inputs. From the start, I said the questions that you are asking, we are processing them to the government departments, municipalities, departments. We as Parliament have got an oversight responsibility. We will look into the report, and we will also give that report to the municipalities and the local and the provincial departments as well as the national departments where it's necessary, like Home Affairs, police, and so on. And we will request them that they will have to report to us as to how did they respond to the issues that was raised with you. I just want to say, for one, I also believe that if you are a leader, the one that you build to come after you must be even better than yourself. There is one thing that I live by. That is why I agree that we must empower the young women, because we will not be there forever. I'm almost 60. One of these days I'm going home. There must be someone that will be able to take over and do this prominent task. I just want one thing, that I'm one person that get very sad when people are very unfair. And it's very unfair to say that we are not coming to the ground. Where are we now? Because we are from national parliament, but we are here coming to listen to the women, but also because we have listened for 18 months. We have listened to the women of South Africa. Now we are saying to the governments of the provinces, for 18 months we have listened to the women of South Africa. We have given you the reports. Come back and tell us what progress you have made. And I agree that we need to capacitate. We can't, niemand het weet hier aangekom nie. If someone knew everything, then we don't need that person, because that person will not listen to us and begin to understand better. So that is why I'm saying I agree that we need to empower one another. But we will have to appoint women with little capacity and with ambition to build them to be more capacitated to respond to the issues that we want to hear from. So with that, I want to say we are taking these things forward. We are taking it forward. And we want to appreciate you. Really, we want to appreciate you. Today is a very cold day in Nelson Mandela Bay, but you came because you heard that Parliament is here. We are your representatives. You actually elected us to be where we are. And we have to come back to respond to the issues that is there. And we have listened for 18 months, 52 districts, every district, we have listened to women. We want the government to respond, and the government, being local government, provincial government, and national government, to respond to that issues. But we are doing it province by province. That is why we want the provincial government to respond. And that is why we are here. And I really want to appreciate the women of the Eastern Cape. You don't know the challenges that we went through just to be able to sit with you here. But in spite of their challenges, you came, and we have conquered. We could listen to one another, and we could hear from our, even if only the issue that we can hear that there is more women representative in the government, it is something that was not there when we came in 2020 and 2021. We came to the provinces. Today it's here. It shows us your demands are being listened to. Because it doesn't help for us to say, we don't need women. We say we want women in that position. What we must do is to demand from that woman to respond to our issues. That is what we need to do. And we must learn to support one another. Pull it down and say, die mode uit toch. It's rarig uit die mode uit. Because the one thing that, in all the years that I'm in a public life, from 1994, my biggest enemies was always the woman. But I decided I will always serve the woman until they understand what is the purpose of us as women and mothers on this earth. If we don't build one another, who is going to build us? Who is going to build us? And that is the reason why we are here. So I want to appreciate you. And I also want to, in particular, express my appreciation to the local councillors and the mayors that was part of this. Yes, she's giving me this now to say Tabisa is at the table. Those that want to, that I said must go to her. She's at the table. She can stand now so that, I don't know, because I can't see. You see Tabisa, ne? This is the woman that I spoke about from the special programs unit in the mayoral office of Nelson Mandela. But I really want to express my appreciation to all of you, young and old, that came today to attend this very important, because it's about us. The Women's Charter is about us. Men in South Africa up until 2022 are still struggling to put together a men's charter. As women, we had one in 1954. 1994, the women that went to Kodesa, they sat there and they started a women's charter. 2019, when I came to Parliament, we realized that it's 25 years and we haven't reviewed the women's charter. We did. And we brought forward this document, the Women's Charter for Accelerated Development. If you have time, read it. If English is a problem, ask someone to translate it. We will also try to translate it later from the site of Parliament. But this is already the second round. Today, we are finishing Eastern Cape. 6 provinces that we have done in a space of 3-4 months. This week, at the end of this week, we will finalize Mpumalanga. And from there, the 7th of October, we will do Free State. KwaZulu-Natal, we want to have a special program in the light of what we know, all the disasters that was there in KwaZulu-Natal. So we want to have a special humanitarian program. So we want to thank you, the women of the Eastern Cape. I've been staying in Eastern Cape since Thursday. I've been sleeping in Eastern Cape for the whole weekend. My family is in Kofimbaba, but I didn't visit them because I came here to have the event of the women of the Eastern Cape. So here I saw Zwartwater, Candace, the place where Candace's in-laws is staying. I saw Zwartwater. I slept in Queenstown. I lived through the load shedding the whole weekend. I lived through the whole load shedding. I came to Nelson Mandela Bay. It is so cold. I didn't even bring a coat. But what I have experienced is the love and the warmth of the people of South Africa. Really, that is what I've experienced. And I really want to express my appreciation to the MECs that was here with us, the Women's Caucus of the Provincial Legislature. They were with us in Queenstown and even here. MECs, Fanta and Peters, also the Chief Whip, Virginia Benjamin, that was here with us. The MECs in Queenstown that was with us, Education and Public Works, that was also there with us. All mayors, it's only OR Tambo, mayor that wasn't part of this event, even if it was not themselves, but they sent representatives. And particularly, I want to thank our comrades, Councillor Eugene Johnson of Nelson Mandela Bay. Nelson Mandela Bay was extremely helpful to make this event a success. Our language unit, I'm impressed with the young men, or the young men, they are young men. I'm impressed with them because they could assist us so beautifully. On the office of the Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, particularly, I really also want to thank them because they are always on the front under the leadership of Dr. Sibulela Mvulane. Sebu, can the people see you? Come to the front, man. Come to the front totally. This young woman is a doctor. She's a doctor. Yes. And she's really, I want you to show it because we are empowering women. And our young women are the ones that will take this country forward. That is a fact. I agree with those that says that. Our partners, Sebu, come, we just want the people to see you. She's graduating in December. She's now recently become a doctor. She's a manager in our office, and she is the driver of this program with a team of Parliament staff. That is communications, that is language services, that is catering, that is security, all of them. They are so well, they are such a good team, and they are doing it for the women of South Africa. To Nelson Mandela Bay, the Special Programs Unit, and to all service providers, we want to express our appreciation. And I will particularly also want to express my appreciation to my two protectors, the guys that are driving me around and protecting me. The other one, it was his birthday yesterday. Snipes, let the ladies say to you, happy birthday. Happy! Thank you very much. Also our partners, the FFC, I am very impressed with the program, with the presentation that they did. They have analyzed the budget of social development, education, and health, because this is the three departments that are getting the bulk of the budget of the province, and that is the three departments that are more for our people. So I am very impressed with the work that they have done. The Council Commission on Gender Equality, unfortunately, the network maker not to be able to share with us the report, but we will do the same report like the Women's Charter, and it will also be distributed. Also to the Speaker's Office, particularly the Chair of Chairs, Honorable Duba, that did a welcoming here. My colleagues that are on the virtual platform, and Honorable Bartlett, she's always there to support me. I'm going to miss her in Mpumalanga. But Maleka, Matlangu, and Nkosi, I will see you in Mpumalanga. We thank you very much, and we hope we haven't disappointed you. All the best, go safe, and be safe, and stay out of this rain, please. Is there anything that I have? I said language. Didn't I say language? Didn't I say language services? Thank you. So I thought I would do the announcement, but thank you. You are going to take the announcement out of my hand. To the traditional leaders, to the church leaders, to the women's societies, and really, I was so excited when I saw Ms. Numisa Nkondlo. We've been working in the NGO sector for a very, very, very long time. Sangoko and wherever we've been there. So let me thank all of you and give over to our translator. You want to make a very important announcement. Thank you very much. Enkosi kakhulu. Diabulela.
Sizawucela wonke umuntu ahlale kule ndawo akuyo, nizawunikwa i-direction ba manibheke phi na ufumana isidlo sasemvimini, sicela loo nto. Ons sal versoek dat al die mense moet bly sit op hulle sitplekke tot hulle rigting informasie kan kry waar om te gaan vir die middagete. Nizawuxelelwa kuba nibheka ngaphi ke. You will be told which direction to take. We go towards the left, against the wall, to the back corner. We'll go row by row. Sizawuqala ngerow ephambili, nibheke phaa kulaa kona kulaa bhuti uphaya, siphuma ngapha xa siphuma. Ima masihlale, masilinde bakabi ready, masilinde bakabi ready. Masihlala bakabi ready. Masihlala bakabi ready. Sure. Besizokwenza njalo. Imistake njalo, but iqala ngasemva ingabe buchule.
Hayi besiqala ngemva sithi. Uzaqala ngathi sisi.
Bathi announce nje basivile bayabona.
welcome back. Can I rehearse this thing? Welcome back. You are still on Parliament Television. You are still watching Parliament Television channel.
Government. We have seen that almost all 6 municipalities in the Chris Hani district, for instance, locals have got women as mayors.
Yes.
And also the Sarah Baartman is one district where we are still looking in terms of a backlog, in terms of the issue of deployment of women. But they've got one municipality that have a female municipal manager. So for us, it's not only about numbers. It's about real capacitation and development of women. And as we have listened to the crowd here in Gqeberha, in Nelson Mandela Bay, let me put it like that, it is clear that women are organized. You find that there is NGOs or NPOs that are working with youth, older persons, sexual non-conforming people, people with disabilities. And people say it very clearly, we don't want handouts from our government. We want to be empowered so that we can be able to do things for ourselves. And it excites you because you can see that in actual fact, the empowerment agenda is trickling down. It's getting to the local areas where people want to do things for themselves. But they need the assistance of government. They need the government to make it possible for them. So I really should say, even though the Premier was not here personally, but he delegated his MECs, and particularly the MEC of Department of Social Development, and in terms of even the program, the presentation from the FFC is correlating with the fact that more money is being channeled into the programs of social development, of health, and particularly education. More money is being channeled, and Eastern Cape is one of the few provinces that can give gender disaggregated information. That is what the FFC found in the study that they did, because we are working with them as well as the Commission on Gender Equality to make sure that they can correlate the kind of information that we will get from the provincial government. And there is really, I mean, truth be told, we must give recognition where it is due.
Yes.
There is in some of the provinces, and Eastern Cape is one of them, there is a real effort to make sure that they begin to respond to the demands that are placed through the Women's Charter, but also trying to respond to the issues of gender-based violence, which unfortunately the prevalence is still very high in the Eastern Cape. And like in any other province, the issue of drugs, and particularly in the Eastern Cape, I think there is someone told me outside that it's a trickle down from the Western Cape, where some of the children grow up and they get exposed to the drugs, and then the parents send them to the villages, to the old mothers, and so unfortunately they don't leave that bad habits behind when they come to the rural areas or when they come to the villages. And now this thing is escalating. It's really escalating within the rural areas. So the issue of drugs, we will advise the Eastern Cape that they will have to give attention to that. An issue that was raised here, that was raised all over where we went. And today, in actual fact, it was raised by career and professional women. This issue of people over 35 that is not necessarily being employed.
The missing middle.
It's not everyone that want to be at that age want to be an entrepreneur. There are many that want to still go into careers, like for instance, police, wherever. But unfortunately, I don't know where this restriction started. But there is a restriction that people say from the ages of 35 to 60, they struggle to get employment. And it is a real issue. It is something that we will have to look at, to address. From the side of the government, we will have to ask them to address that specific issue, because it is really an issue that was raised in all the 6 provinces so far where we went with the Women's Charter. The feedback, even with the review sessions and with the feedback, that is the kind of issues that we get. But we also could see that issue of unemployment and poverty is still very rife in the Eastern Cape. So I think what we are doing is our sessions are highlighting some of the things, social ills and other things that need to get urgent attention, but also that the same way that the provinces are responding to women's empowerment, they need to responding to social cohesion and empowerment of communities to be able to provide for themselves. Because many people here came, for instance, there was a woman that raised the issue that they have been busy with agriculture. They got land, but there is just administrative issues that actually hamper them in terms of making sure that they are able to implement the programs that they are running.
And they are also talking about existence of the Women's Charter, sort of like having each and every department pushing for women's issues, a Women's Charter sort of desk of some sort in government. Yes.
We usually used to have that gender desk or that women's desk that can, but in the Eastern Cape, we had a very strong women's caucus in the provincial legislature. And that women's caucus could actually hold departments responsible to respond to the issues of women. But I also agree that where it is suitable, that departments can have the gender desk, but also the premier's office possibly, because we do have a department of women and children and people with disabilities and all the other groupings. We do have that kind of department. But in provinces, there is that used to be the OSW, in the Office on the Status of Women. It is in the Premier's office. So we need to make sure that there is a provision for that kind of, or even if it is like a representative from Women's Department, but someone that will be able to focus on that specific issues, or a desk that will be able to focus on. I don't think it is, at this stage, we can still request for that. It should have been something that is a given. We should have been something that is a given, and we really want to encourage provincial departments or provincial executive or provincial government to make sure that they begin to respond to that specific issue. Because I think the Women's Charter is a demand document, but we also need to have a kind of an, in a provincial executive or in provincial government, we also need to have a kind of responsible person or responsible structure that will be able to deal with that specific issue.
There is something that struck me about the lady who was saying, we are women with disabilities. Please, you're abled women, give us a chance. Let us exist, so that we can show that we are also able. Or your impression about that?
You know, sometimes we tend to want to think for people with disabilities. We tend to want to treat them as if they are not able to do anything for themselves. That is very encouraging, what that women have said. It's very encouraging, and I really hope the responsible people in this province will listen to that woman, because there are many of that kind of thinking. Many people have that kind of thinking. That, in any case, why would I actually make an effort? Who will take me serious? But it's wrong. It's really, really a wrong way to look to these issues. Because really, if you can take the issue of people living with disabilities very serious, there is something that will actually benefit us as well as them. Even if you have listened to some of the speakers there spoke about, and there is an issue that I have also observed before, that after children with disabilities, they reach the age of 18, which is legally now saying they are not a child anymore. But that child can do nothing for himself. He's still dependent on the woman, on the mother, on whoever is there. And some of them, in terms of development, haven't necessarily developed to the extent that they can be treated as an adult. As an adult. So that is why I'm saying that is also something. We speak about the missing middle. We like to speak about the missing middle, but we are not speaking about the fact where we get to a point where a child is not a child anymore. But in terms of his own physical and psychological development, he remains a child. So that is some of the things that I think we will report to social development and others that is responsible, so that they can see how they assist parents, particularly in our rural areas and in our villages that are having that specific challenge that we are now speaking about.
And ma'am, also a strong attendance of men in this session today, and as well the youth. And your take about that, especially there was a gentleman who unfortunately he spoke a deep Afrikaans that I couldn't catch, but I think he was saying something very, very important with regards to the women's issues.
No, he raised the issues of the communities, the issues of unemployment, the issues of drugs, that is an issue, the issue of this illegal immigrants that are here and that is not really helping to build a cohesive society. They contribute to issues of drugs, they contribute to issues of social ills, and unfortunately, South Africans are very susceptible to this kind of things. So, but I mean, I feel eventually when I started to say, but raise the real issues, we started to say, we've got a lot of unemployment, we've got poverty. We try to do drop-in centers like soup kitchens and things, but unfortunately we don't get the necessary support. And mostly those that are suffering is the women and the children. You see, so it is actually in Queenstown it was the same. I saw that there was many elderly men that attended the session, and I could see in their body language, they didn't feel uncomfortable. Usually you will look at Eastern Cape as a province with traditional people and so on. And you know, but we haven't get that experience here because we could see that there is empathy from the side of the male folk for the women, for the issues that is being raised.
And ma'am, the 7th province. We 6 are done.
6 are
Where
done.
are we going next?
By the end of this week, God willing, we will be doing in Mpumalanga. And the people of Mpumalanga have even requested that we should have a session with a young woman. And we are trying to get that right. We are still trying in terms of our program to see how we can accommodate that specific part of the young woman. We are looking into that. So by Friday, we will be in Mpumalanga, and I believe that we will have a very good and successful session. I trust that. And then now, we will also try before the totally end of this quarter to see whether we can get to the Free State. And then we will be left with KwaZulu-Natal, of which we want to plan a proper program so that we can respond to some of the issues besides the Women's Charter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you
with
very
us,
much.
ma'am. Eh,
Thank you very much for covering us and always being with us throughout. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. That was Mayor Sylvia Lucas giving us reflections of proceedings of today and then here in Gqeberha. And next time, you will see us in Siabuswa, Mpumalanga. Thank you very much for tuning in.